To really get it, we have to start with a moment of just pure, unbelievable drama. It's 2010, and Uruguayan striker Luis Suarez says something that, well, it sends shockwaves around the entire football world. And for Africa, it was absolutely heartbreaking. So what happened? How could one single handball just shatter the hopes of an entire continent? Because that's exactly what it was. A deliberate goal line handball that robbed Ghana of a winning goal in the last second. They were this close to becoming the first African team ever to reach a World Cup semifinal. And just like that, the dream was gone. This one moment, it tells you everything you need to know about why this sport and this tournament matters so deeply. It's all there. The high stakes, the fight for respect on the world stage, and just that raw, powerful emotion. Okay, so to really unpack the weight of that moment, that Suarez handball, you have to get this one crucial thing. In Africa, football has never been just a game. It's always been something more. It's a mirror to society, to politics, to a continent's identity. So let's go back to that quarterfinal. Picture it, Johannesburg, 2010. We're in the final seconds of extra time. A header is flying into the net. It's a certain goal for Ghana. And then Luis Suarez just punches it off the line. It's a blatant handball. He gets a red card, sure, but then Ghana misses the penalty. They go to a shootout and they lose. And Suarez, he later called it the save of the tournament. But for a whole continent, it felt like a dream being stolen right before their eyes. So you have to wonder, where does all this passion, this weight come from? Well, to find out, we need to go way back to the very beginning of the Cup of Nations. And what you'll find is that its story is completely tangled up with the story of modern Africa itself. Think about this. The tournament was literally born in the middle of the decolonization movement. The very first one, back in 1957, only had 3 teams: Egypt, Sudan, and Ethiopia. Now, South Africa was meant to be the 4th, but they were kicked out right away. Why? Because of their apartheid policies. They refused to send a multiracial team. So right from its first breath, the tournament was making a powerful political statement. And this really wasn't just about kicking a ball around. You had these visionary leaders, people like Kwame Nkrumah, the first president of Ghana, and they saw football as a key part of this bigger idea, Pan-Africanism. You know, this movement to unite and strengthen all people of African descent. For them, a national football team was like an ambassador, a walking, breathing symbol of a new, free, and confident Africa. So here's the key takeaway, right? AFCON was political from the absolute start. A victory on the football pitch wasn't just a victory. It was a way to stand up and challenge old colonial attitudes. It was a declaration to the world that these newly independent nations were here to compete, and not just in sports, but everywhere. But this fight for respect, it wasn't just about symbolism. Oh no, it spilled over onto the global stage and became a real, drawn-out battle. And the opponent? Football's all-powerful governing body, FIFA.
So what was the problem? Well, for years and years, FIFA was seen as having this major Eurocentric bias. Basically, the World Cup felt like an exclusive club dominated by teams from Europe and South America. And for nations in Africa, it was almost impossible to even get an invitation to the party. And get this, the disparity was just staggering. You had Africa with 54 member nations having to play off against teams from Asia and Oceania for one single spot in the World Cup. Meanwhile, Europe, with basically the same number of nations, had a whole bunch of guaranteed spots. It was so unfair that it led to a massive protest. The entire continent of Africa boycotted the 1966 World Cup qualifiers. And you know what? That boycott, combined with decades of just relentless pressure, it worked. It finally paid off. Starting with the '98 World Cup, Africa was guaranteed 5 spots. 5! It was a huge, huge victory. A real landmark moment in that long fight for a fair shot on the world's biggest stage. And the reason they fought so hard for those spots? Because the talent was always there. I mean, while this whole political battle was going on with FIFA, back on the continent, absolute legends and footballing dynasties were being born. When you look at the history books, one name stands out: Egypt, the Pharaohs. They are the undisputed kings of AFCON with a record 7 titles. But it's not just their story. Power has shifted over the decades. You had Ghana's Black Stars absolutely owning the 60s, and then the 80s belonged to the indomitable Lions of Cameroon. It's incredible. But even with all those great teams, Egypt did something that is just mind-blowing. In the 2000s, they won not 1, not 2, but 3 AFCON titles in a row. Let that sink in for a second.
3 in a row. No other nation has ever managed that. It was just a period of complete and utter dominance. Okay, so that brings us to the modern era. All this history, all this struggle, where are we now? Well, the tournament is bigger than ever, the talent is just off the charts, but there's still this one famous prediction that kind of hangs in the air. The modern AFCON is an absolute spectacle. It's grown to 24 teams, which just shows you the insane depth of talent across the continent. You've got global superstars, guys who play for the biggest clubs in Europe, all coming home to battle it out for that one prize. It's fantastic to watch. So, when you look back at it all, from its very beginnings in the fight for independence, to the gut-wrenching heartbreak of that handball in 2010, and the incredible glory of its champions, you realize the Africa Cup of Nations really is a reflection of a continent's entire journey, and it leaves us with one big, tantalizing question. The legend himself, Pelé, predicted an African team would win the World Cup all the way back by the year 2000. So, after all this time, all this history, all this passion, you have to wonder, when? When will that prophecy finally come true?